Just a quick reminder before we get into the lesson to download the hands-on lab exercises that accompany this complete CCNA course. I'll include the link in the description. Also remember to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of the lessons in the course. Okay, let's get into it. In this lecture, you'll learn how to lock ports down to particular MAC addresses with port security. So looking at our topology here, I've got switch 1, and right now PC1 and PC2 are plugged into ports 1 and 2. I've set the MAC addresses manually for this lab so that we can keep track of things a bit more easily. So PC1 has got MAC 0.1.1, PC2 is 0.2.2, and PC3, the villain, is 0.3.3. So let's say that this is a bank and we want to lock our ports down to particular hosts. So first up, I'll lock port fast0/1 down to MAC 0.1.1. So I'll go onto the switch and go to global config, and then it's interface fast0/1. I need to set switch port mode access first, and then switch port security. So that's just enable generic default port security on there. Next up, I want to lock it down to this particular MAC address. So the command is switch port security, MAC address, and it was 0.1111.1111. Okay, done. And I'm also going to manually set it to one MAC address as well. So switch port security, let's check the command, and it's maximum of 1. That was the default anyway. And if I now do a show port security for interface fast0/1, I can see that port security is enabled, and it does have a configured MAC address, and that the MAC address has not been learned yet. If I want to check what the MAC address is, I can do a show port security address, and I can see there's the MAC address there that is locked to interface fast0/1. So it hasn't seen the MAC address yet because there hasn't been any traffic coming in yet. So let's go on to PC1, and I'll ping over to PC2. So ping 10.10.10.11 to generate some traffic. And if I now do my show port security interface again, I can see that yes, there is the MAC address, and the traffic went through okay, so it's all good. Now, let's say that the next thing that happens is we have an attacker that's trying to get onto the network. And what they do is they disconnect the cable that's connected to PC1, and they hook that up to their PC instead. So that was interface fast0/1. They connect their PC in, which has got a different MAC address, which is 0.3.3.3 in this example. The IP address is already configured on here, 10.10.10.12. So let's see if port security is going to work or not. I'll try pinging PC2 from PC3. So I will ping 10.10.10.11 from here, and the ping fails because port security locks down the port because it was not the correct MAC address. If I look back on the switch again and do my show port security interface command, I can see that I've had a violation and that I didn't actually change the MAC address. So that's a MAC address that's on PC3, which is violating. It's not 0.0.1, and because it's violating, port security is shut down the interface. So to fix this, I need to walk down there and then take that PC off the network. I didn't mean to delete the whole thing. Let's try to delete just the link. So I'll uncable it and then cable fast 0/1 back up to PC1. PC1 is not back on the network yet. I need to do a shut and a no shut to take it out of error disabled. So I'll go to config T, interface fast 0/1, shut down, no shutdown, and then I will check the state of the interface now for port security. I can see that it is back up with the correct address of 0.1.1, and let's just check connectivity as well. So from PC1 I'll ping PC2 again. We're all good, we're back where we started. So that's how you can manually configure the MAC address on the interface to lock it down to that one MAC address. Next thing to look at is using a sticky address. But before I show you how the sticky address works, I want to demonstrate how this is different to not putting a MAC address at all on the interface. So let's go on to switch 1, and I'm just going to enable default port security on here. So I'll go to global config, interface fast 0/2, and then switch port security. And as usual, I forgot to say switch port mode access first. So I'll do that and then try the command again and it'll work. Okay, if we now do our show port security for interface fast 0/2, it's going to have the default settings because I didn't configure any other parameters. And by default, it only allows one MAC address, but it doesn't care what that MAC address is because I didn't manually set the MAC address and I haven't said MAC address sticky. So you saw in the last couple of lectures that if I plug a hub or a switch or a wireless access point in here, then there's going to be more hosts trying to transmit and it's going to lock the port down then. So what this does is it stops unauthorized devices from getting put on your network, but it doesn't lock it down to a particular host. To demonstrate that, let's delete the interface, the link going to PC2, and then hook it up to PC3 instead. So fast Ethernet 0/2, connect it to PC3 instead. And if I now go on to PC3, let me just open it up. So I'll go into PC3 and I will ping 10.10.10.10, which is PC1. The ping succeeds. So it would work from PC2, it'll work from PC3, it'll work from any PC. The switch doesn't care which host is plugged in as long as it's only one host at a time. So let's say that now I do actually want to lock it down to this particular PC, which is PC2. So let's move the cable back over again without deleting that whole host accidentally. So I'll take my cable from fast Ethernet 0/2 on the switch, plug it back into PC2. I've already got port security configured on the interface, but now I'm going to set MAC address sticky. So I'll go to global config, interface fast 0/2, switch port security, MAC address sticky. And what will happen now is it will learn the MAC address that is plugged in there. So let's generate some traffic first. So I'll go into PC2 and I will ping over to PC1. The ping will work just fine. And now if I go back onto the switch and I do a show port security for interface fast 0/2, I'll see that I've allowed my one MAC address and I can see that it is a sticky MAC address now. And here is the MAC address that was learned, 0.2.2. So by using sticky, it saves me having to manually figure out what the MAC address is and manually type it in all my interfaces, which would be a heap of work. It automatically learns it, but it does lock it down to this one port now. So you saw that PC2 is able to communicate, but if we go back and do the same thing that we did earlier, which was unplug PC2 and then move the network cable over to PC3, well, because I set sticky, it's saying that it's only 0.2.3 MAC address that is allowed to talk on this port. So if I go onto PC3 and I try to ping PC1 now, so ping 10.10.10.10, the ping is going to fail. And then if I go on to switch 1 and do a show port security for interface fast 0/2, I see that there was a violation. It's not the sticky MAC address that was learned, so the port has been shut down. Okay, so that's it. That's everything about port security. You've seen how we can use it to prevent unauthorized devices on the network, also how we can use it to lock the port down to a particular MAC address, how we can do that by manually adding MAC addresses, how we can do it more conveniently by using sticky, and also the difference between using a sticky MAC address and not configuring a MAC address at all. So that's everything. See you in the next section. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to get the complete course ad-free right now, then you can enroll in my CCNA Gold Bootcamp by clicking the link above my head or in the description. It also includes full study notes, quizzes, and 150 pages of additional troubleshooting labs you can't find anywhere else.